We didn't work together before, but we were roommates and lived together for 4 or 5 years.
And we've been brothers our whole lives, so
It's true. I'm Michael Mast.
And I'm Rick Mast, and we are chocolate makers in Brooklyn. Pretty much almost every step of the way of how we make chocolate here, we've had to come up with how it's done because there was no such thing of small batch chocolate makers.
There's not really a chocolate making kit you can just go out and buy for what we're doing here.
I think that chocolate was the perfect match because here you have something that's arguably the most popular food on earth. Yet I would say 99% of the people on earth don't know how it's made. To really reach the potential of chocolate that the cocoa bean has, to take that cocoa bean and have it reach its flavor potential, it has to be done small. There's no magic to it. If you get the best beans, you're going to get the best product. So once the beans arrive, we take the burlap sacks and we throw them on our big butcher block table, lay them all out, we get our crew around and we hand sort everything. So we literally go through every bean that comes through our factory. Every bean gets a different roasting profile, some long at the low temperature, some short at a little higher temperature. It depends on the flavor profile, really. The way we do it is sort of what we call the craft style, is we only use cocoa bean and sugar in our chocolate bars. You know, we don't add any additional cocoa butter, vegetable oils, vanilla, soy lecithin. We don't add any of these things to it. So all those things just sort of dumb down the product while we highlight the cocoa bean. And the cocoa bean is where all those sort of mind-altering sort of sexiness comes from. After roasting, we have to break up the beans. So we crack them up by hand. We call this sort of piece of artwork right here, the crow. This machine we developed with a friend of ours that is an aerospace engineer. You take the beans, just put them in that hopper there. It's actually sort of repurposed a piece of equipment that is most commonly used by home brewers to break up barley. There's a spinning thing of the nibs that goes down, and then there's an inside a tightly spinning thing of the husks that comes through. I think it was said in one of the early publications that there's the easy way, then there's the Mast Brothers way. We decided to have our beans from point of origin, from the Dominican Republic, from Brazil, we're going to have them brought here by sail. As early as this year, we're going to be setting sail for our first sort of voyage.
And just 3 blocks down, have access to the East River and the ocean. So why not take advantage of that?
After it's been in the stone grinder for 2 to 3 days, we tilt it and we empty it out into these trays here, and they're ready to rest. A lot of these have been resting for already a couple weeks. Final part of the actual chocolate making is the tempering process. This beautiful machine will help us bring the temperature of the chocolate up to its perfect melting point, and then by the process of bringing it down to a specific temperature and then stabilizing at a specific temperature, we're able to get this perfect glossy chocolate bar. It has a nice crisp snap. What we've been saying a lot lately about why you would go into business with your brother, there's nobody that you're going to fight harder with than your family. But there's nobody that you're going to fight harder for than your family.
We butt heads every day, so I think
a
lot of the times we get through it all, but then we also try and just block it out so we can just move forward.
It's a centuries-old tradition, and people have steered clear of it because there's this sort of separation of business and personal all the time, but our business is personal, you know, so it's important to us. We feel like we are part of a movement that not only is just chocolate and not only is just food, but is sort of a craft movement. Food is always more enjoyable 100% of the time when you know where it comes from and how it's made. So that's why we have this factory here.